In this tutorial we're going to look at the twisting mechanism, which is a very pleasing mechanism. It has a very unusual action. As the page opens, the mechanism twists around. It's made of two V-folds pointing at each other. When the base is flat, they lie flat, and then you can build a number of things on top of it. So here is an example. As it opens, the figure twists around and opens up. In essence, you've got 6 planes, so there's 2 on each top and bottom on each of the V-folds, and then it's got 2 on the parallel folds on top. And then the gullies that you can build into, the gullies that close as the base closes. You've got one obviously in the top underneath the parallel fold. You've got 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom where the V-folds are, and then within the V-folds you've got another 2. So you've got 4 there, 2 there, 6, and then 1 there. So 7 gullies to build in. And this one, it hasn't actually built into any of the gullies, it's just extending the planes so that the head and arm, that's coming off one plane, this is coming off one, and then these are coming off 2 others. So it's using 4 of the planes. You need a base sheet. Here's the base sheet, folded in half, creased really thoroughly. And then you need another piece about this big. I've actually already creased it in the middle, that way, folded it really thoroughly. I've added a crease at each end for gluing tabs. And then you want another crease going down the middle of it. So you fold it lengthways. So make sure this time, those 2 central creases line up with each other so that you know it's all going to work nicely. So there's that crease. Fold it back on itself. Fold it really thoroughly. So you've got a cross shape. Now you actually need 2 more creases going across like this. So one way is to just fold it across and bring the crease in line. So you can do it like that. That's one way of doing it, and fold that back on itself. The other ways, if you find that really difficult, you can use a set square. So the corners of the set square are 45 degrees, and what you're aiming for here is 8 angles, and they're all going to be 45 degrees. So you can just put that down that central crease, mark it with the pencil, or score it with your biro. So there's one, and then you can do the same on the other side. So that's the line we want folded. So now you can just fold it along there. You can check it by just making sure that these creases line up. And there, it's a bit tricky. It is a bit tricky, but so there it is. You end up with the creases all making a star shape. And now you should be able to push it in like that. So this is the shape you end up with. And these 2 central creases should be flush with each other, ideally. There is a little bit of leeway, but the more flush they are with each other, the better. And then sometimes you can just cut out that final point, because there's a whole lot of cards all come together there, and it makes it a little bit thick. So just to make it work a little more smoothly, you can just cut that tip off. So this is the shape you've ended up with. Now you only want 1 tab on each end, and so we'll make a tab on this end up here, and just cut it back a bit further. Rather than just cutting along the crease there, cut it back a bit more, otherwise you'll end up with a point here which might snag on other things. So you just cut that off to the corner, take it off there. So you've got a gluing tab at one end there, and then the crucial thing is the other gluing tab must be diagonally opposite, not on the same side. So here's the second gluing tab. This is the shape you want to end up with. And now you're going to put the glue on these 4 central panels, and that's all going to glue down flat with the central crease, lined up at the central crease of the base, and these 4 glued down. And you can glue, the whole thing can glue down flat, so you can put glue on all those 4 at the same time. So, just to make sure we don't mess the glue up, if we fold it into that position, it makes it easier to get the glue up to the creases and not beyond. Right, so open it up flat, align this long central crease with the central crease on the base and glue it down. There it is, so glue those down flat, and now you close it. And these 2 pieces, they should lift up and come together. So there it is, you can see the 2 V-folds coming together as you open and close it. So now you're going to stick another piece across between these 2. Let's try a bit of red. We don't want it any wider than this piece we've already attached, so aim for the same width, more or less. And then it mustn't be shorter than the distance between these 2 creases. If it's shorter, then the whole mechanism can't open. It can be longer. The longer it is, the more it'll stand up. So we'll start by just folding it in the middle. So you've got a crease across the middle like that. And then this is going to fit in like that. So if we look at this, it's about, well, we'll just take, say, a centimetre off each end. So fold it in half, keeping it symmetrical. We can just take a piece off like that. This is going to glue in this position. And so these tabs, they can either go on top, in which case they're visible, or you can hide them underneath. So we'll put them underneath. Okay, make sure the edge is flush with the crease, and then that one goes there. And you can shut the base. I made it all a bit big so it's jutting out. That's the way it goes with dummies. So you make the dummy and then you see the dimensions and you can see what you need to change. So this is the dummy of the twisting mechanism. So this is Little Red Riding Hood paper engineering by Bruce Foster, and we open this up and this is the twisting mechanism, and he's turned it into the wolf hiding from behind a tree. You can probably see it, and this way you can see how it moves, how it twists as it opens, how he's extended the different planes. Anyway, that's that one. The next one is The Night Before Christmas by Robert Sabuda. And under this flap you have a really amazing example of the twisting mechanism. So here it is, opens up, and he's got all the 6 planes, or at least 5 of them, have been extended with these cutouts. So as the flap opens and closes, so you see it, the whole gang of reindeer, they all pirouette around the action. Very nice example. And then the next one is The Nutcracker by Nick Denchfield. This has got an unusual variation. He's using the twisting mechanism to raise the Christmas tree. So this is actually a solid shape being lifted rather than just a couple of planes. So you can see it end on, you can see the V-folds going down again, coming together and folding away, and the Christmas tree spinning around. So the last one I want to show you is my Jungle pop-up book, and this has a really interesting variation. So here it is, and in this case the V-folds don't lie flat when the page is flat, they stand up, and it's the piece lifting up on the top that ends up flat rather than being a high right, pointing up parallel fold. So it folds down in between those 2 V's. So yeah, nice example there. And that's it for the twisting mechanism. It's all explained in more detail in my book, Pop-Up Design and Paper Mechanics.